Hey, welcome. So today, we're going to talk about energy. And no, not the kind you get from a double espresso, but that deep, real energy that powers every single thing you think, feel, and do. We're diving deep into your mitochondrial health, and we're going to figure out how to recharge your body's own inner fire. You know, back in biology class, we all learned that mitochondria are the powerhouses of the cell. And that's true, but it's also kind of boring, right? It doesn't really capture the magic. This quote, though, gets so much closer. It suggests that every meal you eat is basically a piece of stored sunlight, and your mitochondria, they're the ones that unlock it, turning it into the very energy of your thoughts, your movements, your life. It's a pretty mind-blowing connection when you think about it.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to totally reframe what this inner fire really is. Then, we'll get into what happens when it starts to dim. After that, we'll cover the 3 essential pillars to get it roaring back to life: the right fuel, the right environmental charge, and yeah, the right mindset. And don't worry, we'll wrap it all up with a super simple plan you can literally start tomorrow.
Okay, let's get into it. To really wrap our heads around this, we have to go way beyond the textbook definition. We need to connect with a much older, more intuitive idea of what energy actually is.
You know, for thousands of years, traditions all over the world knew about this inner fire, this life force energy. They called it Agni or Chi or Prana. And what's so incredible is that modern science didn't disprove this idea. It actually found its physical address. This magical transformation from food to life, it's happening right now inside your trillions of tiny mitochondria.
So what happens when that inner light starts to dim? Well, that's what we call mitochondrial dysfunction. And it's at the very root of so many things we struggle with, from that afternoon brain fog to just feeling chronically tired all the time.
Think of it like a car engine getting all gunked up. This happens in a few key ways. First, you've got electron leakage. These are like tiny biological sparks, scientists call them ROS, that literally cause your internal machinery to rust from the inside out. Second, and this one is huge, is something called mitopathy failure. Basically, your body forgets to take out the trash, leaving these old, broken-down mitochondria to just hang around like zombies. And finally, there's chronic inflammation. It basically puts your mitochondria on high alert, forcing them into defense mode instead of producing energy. And this just lays it out perfectly. Look at the difference. On one side, you've got a cell that's running clean, efficiently making energy, sending clear signals, repairing itself. But on the other side, you have a cell that's bogged down by those zombie mitochondria. They're not making energy, they're just sucking up resources, creating more of that damaging smoke and yelling danger to your immune system.
So the big question is, how do we fix this? Well, it all starts with pillar number 1. Giving your mitochondria the exact building blocks and fuel they need, not just to get by, but to actually thrive.
Okay, now this is really cool. Check out how specific nutrients have very specific jobs. You've got CoQ10, which you'll find in things like sardines and beef liver. It's basically the spark plug that ignites the whole energy-making process. Then there's PQQ, from stuff like kiwi and parsley. Think of it as the construction foreman telling your body to build brand new mitochondria. And finally, sulfur, from broccoli and garlic, acts like a security guard, protecting your mitochondrial DNA from damage.
All right, let's move on to our next pillar, because it's not just about what you eat. It's also about the incredibly powerful signals you send to your cells from your environment every single day.
This is just an incredible insight. Get this, your mitochondria are light sensitive. Just like a plant, they can absorb energy directly from sunlight. There's a special enzyme inside them that literally soaks up photons to accelerate energy production. So, in the most real sense possible, light is a nutrient for your cells. Okay, so sunlight gives you a direct energy charge. But to make that energy, you need oxygen delivered efficiently. And you are not going to believe how simple this is. Check this out. Research has found that the simple act of humming can increase nitric oxide in your nasal passages by 15 times. A 15x increase. And that matters because nitric oxide helps your blood vessels relax, making sure that vital oxygen gets right where it needs to go.
So we can actually put these ideas into a simple, powerful, and, best of all, totally free daily routine. Step 1. Greet the sun in the morning. Step 2. Take a quick cold shower to tell your body, hey, build some new, better mitochondria. And step 3. Spend 5 minutes humming to yourself to boost that crucial oxygen delivery. You're literally charging your cellular batteries.
This final pillar, this one's a big shift in perspective. It's about moving away from trying to fix a machine and moving toward having a conversation with your own body. Because what if your thoughts, your feelings, your intentions, what if they are real biological signals?
So instead of hitting that wall of fatigue with frustration and asking, how can I force myself to have more energy? This approach invites a totally different question. What if you just asked, what is this fatigue trying to tell me? It reframes your symptoms. They're not malfunctions anymore. They're messages. They're your body asking for something specific, whether that's rest or a certain nutrient or just a feeling of safety.
Things like heart-focused breathing or feeling genuine gratitude, they aren't just feel-good exercises. They create a state of what's called cellular coherence. Think of it like turning a chaotic, staticky radio station into a clear, calm signal. That signal tells every cell in your body that you are safe. And in response, your body dials down stress hormones like cortisol that are so damaging to your mitochondria, creating the perfect internal environment for them to do their job.
Okay, wow, we've covered a lot of ground here, right? We've talked about ancient fire, zombie cells, and humming for your health. So let's pull all of this together into a super simple, practical plan that you can put into action right away.
Here it is, your 24-hour MITO reset. Just 3 simple actions that tie all 3 pillars together. First, start your day with that morning sun to charge your cells. Second, add a serving of a sulfur-rich veggie to one of your meals for fuel and protection. And third, end your day with 5 minutes of that heart-focused breathing to send a powerful signal of safety and repair. Fuel, charge, and signal. It's that simple.
And really, that's what this all comes down to. This isn't about just following a checklist. It's about realizing you're in a constant conversation with your own biology. Your cells are listening, right now. So the only question left is, what message are you going to send them tomorrow?